Greetings, children, and welcome to my chamber. My name is Rotherick Gastblood, and I'm your host of Tales from the Dark Chamber. This week, we have a great show for you. Tales to make your skin crawl. Each week, my chambermate and I read a scary tale that we found on the internet, or perhaps left under some corpse. Either way, we think you're going to like it, and we're just dying for you to hear it. So sit right back, light a candle, and let's have a ghoul evening. Oh, dear friends, we are gathered here to pay our last respects to our deceased chambermaid, Woody. He was a kind soul, and even though he was an intolerable ninny, he did manage to brighten up the otherwise dreary mansion I call home. I shall miss them.
What? Where am I? I'm in some kind of box. Rotherick, what in the world is going on?
Oh my goodness! Everyone, help me get him up. Woody, we thought you were dead.
What? Whatever gave that idea?
I assure you, it was a horrible mistake.
Uh-huh. And would you care to explain your mistake there, Ricky?
Oh, yes, indeed. See, I went to wake you up this morning, and you wouldn't arise. When I checked your pulse, you had none.
What? So just how did you check my pulse there, eh?
Your arm was cold as ice and rather blue. No pulse.
Jesus, Rotherick. Did you bother to check my arm a bit further up? Perhaps it was the elastic bandage I had on last night to help cure my tennis elbow? You didn't stop to think that there was something protruding out my shirt? Or perhaps maybe I was breathing?
Oh, Woody, again, I'm so sorry. I'm the type who digs up the dead, or not cures them. I haven't any knowledge of medicine, or even first aid for that matter. Please forgive me.
Yeah. Just help me out of here, okay?
Yes, Woody. But I'm glad you were not dead, but that you were dead asleep. Quite catatonic, in fact.
Oh. Okay, now my leg is asleep. I guess I did kind of look like I wasn't alive. My arm, like my leg, was asleep. The bandage was cutting off the circulation and, well, no wonder it was blue. Rotherick, you really need to pay attention next time, okay? It's a good thing you didn't have me embalmed.
Yes, indeed. You would have tasted horrible.
Really? Had to go there, eh? But I will say I was really in a weird dream for a bit. I'm surprised that I wasn't thrashing about like a fish or something.
Yes, I can imagine. Dreams can seem quite real sometimes.
What was it about? Well, I was here at the mansion, but I couldn't get out. You were there? Lucretia was there? Bob was there. Most of your family I knew was there, or at least I think there was. Then I was led down this long alleyway into a light, a strange light. The only thing I could hear was some droning music. And then, I woke up here. Wow. I guess it was me hearing you speak over me while I was in the coffin. You know, Rotherick, I'm glad you didn't have worse plans for me. But I'm sure glad I'm still above grass.
Who says I didn't have other plans?
But that does remind me of tonight's story. We finally find out why M was at Osmocate Manor and exactly who the other inhabitants are in the final act of Osmocate Manor. Enjoy! Osmocate Manor Final Act Part 2 by Runedine. A knock awakes him. When his eyes open, he meets the bright green eyes of A. "Good morning," she whispers sweetly. "Morning, A," he smiles. The knock sounds again. "Oh," he sits up. He walks over to the door, opening it. He meets O's eyes. His look is grave. "M, I have it all figured out." "What?" May I come in?" Totally." He steps out of the way. O's surprised to see A. She waves at him. "Well, you two," O speaks with great certainty, "I've reached a conclusion." "What is it, O?" A asked as O sits down at the desk, sitting beside M in the bed, her warm hand softly holding onto his. "This place, we're all in a comatose. Osmocate Manor, the word rearranged is comatose manor. That's where we are. In a comatose, somehow a linked one. All of us were grievously wounded and ended up like this. We're likely side by side in hospital gurneys." "Dude, that's brilliant. We need to go, O. We need to get out of here. We need to brave the hall. Today, while we're all still here. I refuse to lose a single one of you left. C's gonna take some convincing, so we'll need to tell her soon. Do the others know about this yet?" "Not yet. I came to you first, then A." He smiles at her. "Now we—" "M?" A soft voice meets his ears as they turn to see C in the doorway. "My lungs." "No," M gasps. "We need to go, now." "Go where?" C gasps weakly. "The Hall of Voices. It's the only way out." I can't." "I'm not leaving here without you. Come on, damn it. Oh, help me." He tries to pick her up with O's help and holds her in a bridal carry. C says nothing as M carries her. When they get to V's room, he slams the door. V whirls it open, grasping his paring knife and aiming it at M. "What's up?" he gasps as he notices C in M's arms. "C's dying. We need to leave before any of us are killed. O figured it out. We're in a comatose. Those injuries we experienced were all real, but we're not dead. Not yet. We need to leave. It's Comatose Manor. That's the name rearranged." V's eyes widen in shock. "C!" he screamed. My lungs," she whispers. "We're getting out of this," V cries. "We're not losing you, C. Come on." He dashes up the stairs as they run up. O calls. I theorize the Hall of Voices. It's a mental recording of all the things our family and friends have been screaming at our unconscious bodies and the pain they're feeling. That's what we're sensing. So we need to get through it, because on the other side is life. When they make it to the door, O stares at C. I believe in you, C. It's not too late. M grasps C firmly by the shoulders. Do you think you can make it to the end of the hall? I will. She weakly stares into the portal. For D, for J, for all of you, for never giving up on me. Like J, I'll be strong. I won't make you all lose me. She stands to her feet. No. This is my time. I was spared of death. She grasps her lungs. Ouch! See, A comforts. I'm fine. She grits her teeth. I will see you all on the other side. She trudges into the portal. Next, O faces a group. A temporary goodbye, my friends. I'll see you in the light. He launches into the portal resolutely. I'll see you on the outside, M. A stares into M's eyes. She kisses him passionately and lovingly, then stares at the portal. She runs inside, holding nothing back. Now M and V face the portal. Nice going, he chuckles, patting M's shoulder. M, I want you to know that no matter what happens on the other side of this thing, I'll never forget you, ever. You're my bro, and you always will be. You too, brother. Hey, V? Yeah, brother. Sorry for pushing you in the pool, man. I couldn't resist. You bitch, he chuckles, shoving him. But I got you back with that bucket. You sure did. He throws his arms over V brotherly. See you soon, V. On the other side. He darts into the portal. Hell yeah, M. He sprints into the portal after him, holding nothing back. M steps through the bright white hall. All he can hear is a whisper now, but he knows soon it will be deafening. He rushes through the whispers, largely ignoring them. Then he hears it, that booming voice. It's please. He grasps his ears in agony. He continues onwards, refusing to stop moving. The screams get louder and louder, but he jams his fingers into his ear canals, so tight he thinks he might puncture his eardrums. Mark, a voice breaks through the silence. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Please, come back. Please, I'm sorry. His voice falls apart as he cries his heart out. Mark, he gasps. My name and that voice. Ashton, he cries. Ashton, I'm coming. He runs with all the strength he has left. Come back to us, his mother's voice vociferates. We need you, Mark. We need you. She's sobbing uncontrollably. I'm so proud of you, my son. The voice of his father paralyzes him. So proud. I know you'll survive this. I know you will. My son. My crazy, stubborn son. He laughs and cries at the same time. Come on, Mark. Push. Get out. Please. You're my only son. Please. I'm coming, Dad. I'm coming. He races with every bit of strength he could retain. Keep going, a family voice appears. You're almost there. I believe in you, Em. That's Jay, he shrieks. Jay! Man! I'm coming! He feels like he's about to collapse, but keeps running. The light gets too bright. He slams his eyes shut. A different voice appears. Many different voices appear. His bright, russet eyes study the ceiling of the hospital. Hurry! They're all waking up! A gasp covers him in shivers. Cassie! She's back! Her heart is beating again. She's back. A voice is enamored. Vince's eyes are open. The doctor runs around the room yelling, Everybody in here, now! It's an anomaly! A medical anomaly! Orville's awake! Orville's awake! Annabelle! A voice gasps. Mark stares at the doctors teeming around him, some so shocked they're pale white. Then a black male dashes to his side, grabbing his arms. That's it, Mark. Get up. It's me, Jeremiah. Jay. Jeremiah? He whispers, trying to speak as he can't help but smile. His head is throbbing. A moment later, his vision fades again and he's unconscious, but nowhere near Osmocate Manor. Mark? A voice pulls him from his slumber finally. His blurry eyes fix on a face. He has messy orange hair and bright green eyes. His eyes are tear-strained. Ashton? He whispers, remembering it all. Can you ever forgive me? Can you ever forgive me? He's barely holding together. I didn't aim for your face. I was so fucking stupid. Please, Mark. He's barely able to talk. Damn it. You know I would never do that to you. You know I'd never want to hurt you. It was all a fucking accident. Immediately he remembers it all. His best friend, Ashton Kramer. His friend since 4th grade. He remembers years of playing baseball together and their shock when both of them got accepted to Maynard High School, the most prestigious private school in the country, with the best varsity baseball team in the region. He remembers when Ashton's grades slipped, and he talked with Mark on the phone about how stressed he was that he might not get to finish his senior year on the baseball team at Maynard if his grades sank below B's. He recalls him crying his eyes out on the phone, whimpering, It's too hard. I'm not like you. I just can't go to school and pass. Mark remembers him transferring to Oakwood High to finish his senior year, where he could play on the baseball team regardless. He remembers passing Ashton in skill after his dismissal, and he remembers the game where it all happened. At the bottom of the 8th, he had 1 strike and 3 balls. Ashton, the opposing team's pitcher, was about to really lose it all on him. After all his horrified realizations that Mark was better than him, a better student, a better baseball player, and destined to have a better life, he realized that if he didn't strike him out, he'd be responsible for Maynard's lead, and they'd never catch up in the 9th inning. It would be his fault, his loss, and Mark's win. And he lost it. He pegged the ball right at him in pent-up, unbridled range. And it missed. It didn't hit his arm. It hit his face. He fell to the earth, unconscious in an instant, blood gushing from his forehead. His screams of absolute terror were the next sound audible in the deathly silent stadium as he charged over to Mark, grabbing him in his arms as the tears began to spill down his face and the lifelong, unbearable guilt and loss set in. Mark stared into Ashton's eyes. Tears stain his face as their eyes locked. Of course, I forgive you, he whispers through teary chokes. Ashton leans over, grabbing Mark in a hug. I'm so glad you're awake, he cries his eyes out, grabbing onto him. I thought I lost you. He was bawling. Mark is crying uncontrollably, too. It's just baffling, the female news reporter laughs joyously. 6 of the 7 patients, Jeremiah Lincoln, Vincent Petrone, Cassie Davenport, Orville Williamson, Annabelle Truscott, and Mark Haygood woke up, Jeremiah first, and the other 5 within 2 minutes of each other, not to mention Sean Mendelssohn's precipitous revival from comatose in the same hospital room 2 months ago. And to the patients of Dara Klein, we will never forget her, and we're sorry for your loss. She was the last of the patients who, chillingly enough, died minutes before Jeremiah mysteriously revived. Oh, And this shout-out of recognition goes to Zoe Cartwright, too, who was lost in the same hospital room in a comatose 2 months ago. They all nod in respectful silence. Now, get ready for their story. It's just a beyond reality. But we'll let them tell you. We have here with us what the media has been called Osmocate survivors. They all step out into the show, Sean in front, Jeremiah behind him. Jeremiah is followed by Cassie, and Orville steps out just behind her. Next comes Mark, pushing Vince in his wheelchair. Annabelle walks beside Mark. They all sit down in their chairs, clearly well acquainted. As the questions begin, Mark can't help but stare at the group, shocked they're all really together. It blows his mind to think about what happened. It blew the minds of the world. "Hey, Em," Vince whispers to Mark. Mark," he chuckles. "Yeah, Vince." He extends his knuckle. Mark bumps it. Osmocate Manor Final Act, Part 2, by Runedine. Well, folks, that's our story tonight. Rotherick and I hope you enjoyed it. We sure had a great time bringing it to you, and we really appreciate you listening. Tune in next week when we bring you another chilling Tales from the Dark Chamber. And just a note, if you're an aspiring author and want your story read here on Tales from the Dark Chamber, send us a note at talesfromthedarkchamber@gmail.com. If it creeps old Rotherick out enough, we'll air it. And subscribe to our channel here for notification of our next new episode, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember, hit that like button and help us grow the channel. Also, make sure you tell your friends about us. Spread the word. If you want your story recorded for your own use, or just want to have it, check out my website at woodygvoiceover.net. You can order there. And again, thank you for listening tonight.